get a cash payout up to £10,000.
That money could help cover my funeral costs or be a gift for my grandson. I'll do it.
Plus, when you sign up, you'll receive a £135 gift card and free 24/7 GP advice and health services.
Be proud to protect your loved ones with British Seniors. To get a free life insurance quote today, call our UK team on 0800 881 5090 or visit britishseniors.co.uk.
I have it. Oh, looks like sinusitis. I can diagnose that. Latte, right?
Your number's 5 in the queue.
UTI.
I'm just a walking away.
I can help you get a good night's sleep.
Morning. I can help with that.
Oh, for diagnosis and treatment, you're never too far from a pharmacist. Boots, with you for life.
Don't they grow up so fast? And sometimes the big life moments like a new home and a new school can be scary. Which reminds me, I don't want my family to worry about mortgage costs if the worst should happen. That's why I'm looking into smart family life insurance.
Hi, I'd like a quick quote, please.
OK, you can choose a benefit amount up to £750,000 depending on your age. If you're a UK resident aged 18 to 64, you can apply with just a few health and lifestyle questions. For £250,000 of cover, the price starts at just £14.77 a month.
That's less than I thought. I could help my husband with the mortgage.
Just like families, not all life insurance is the same. That's why we offer the Smart Family Guarantee.
That's good to know.
For even greater peace of mind, you'll also receive a 100% advance in the event of terminal illness and 10% cashback on your first year's premiums. That's the Smart Cashback. Plus, you'll also get your choice of a £125 gift card.
To get a free quote today, call our specialist UK team on 0800 542 1775 or visit smartinsurance.co.uk.
Sometimes it's the little things that remind us of them. Stay close, even when you're far apart. Send money worldwide with Remitly.
This is NDTV, and you're watching NDTV 24/7.
Hello and welcome to this Tuesday edition of the World Report. I'm Arjun, Samar, Mahendran, and here's what's making headlines around the world. In a reciprocal move, India has extended the ban on Pakistani airlines and aircraft from entering Indian airspace by a month till the early morning of the 24th of October now. This is according to a fresh notice to the airmen or a NOTAM issued by India's aviation authorities on Monday. Now, the new notice comes a couple of days after Pakistan's NOTAM extended the closure of its airspace for Indian aircraft and airlines for the same period. With these extensions, the neighbours' airspace closure for each other's aircraft are set to enter their 6th consecutive month. Over in New York, French President Emmanuel Macron on Monday said in a speech at the United Nations General Assembly that France formally recognises the state of Palestine, a move that drew stark criticism from both Israel and the United States. Now, in his address, Macron urged an end to Israel's war in Gaza, the release of hostages held by Hamas, and renewed efforts towards a two-state solution. The time for peace has come as we are just moments away from no longer being able to seize it, Macron said. Now, this step is being seen as a diplomatic win for Macron, though it has heightened tensions with Israel's and also Washington, with both firmly opposed to Palestine statehood recognition. Here's what Macron had to say.
Cette autorité palestinienne renouvelée est une condition nécessaire à la réussite de l'indispensable négociation qu'il faudra reprendre pour parvenir à un accord sur chacune des questions relatives au statut final. C'est dans ce cadre aussi que je pourrais décider d'établir une ambassade auprès de l'État de Palestine dès lors que tous les otages détenus à Gaza auront été libérés et qu'un cessez-le-feu aura été établi.
My colleague Vishal Vivek joins us for more on this. Vishal, we've seen at least 12 nations, if you know the number has not increased, as we are getting our viewers this bulletin, that have in fact recognized a Palestinian statehood only in the last couple of days. Now, this brings the total number of members within the UNGA to 75 or well over 75. How do you see this move as? Is it just another lip service, or do you see something more to this?
Well, this is significant, Arjun, as you mentioned rightly, but it's still a tall order, as far as recognizing Palestine on the international stage is concerned, because there are several criteria that Palestine, the state, needs to, fulfill if it is to be recognized as an international, body. So there are several things that need to be lined up. The first one is that there needs to be a recognized government of Palestine, which is not the case because there are two rival factions, governing different areas of Palestine. And also there needs to be a stable government, and we all know that there's no stable government as far as Palestine is concerned. Gaza has, been in trouble for the last 2-3 years, and also on the other hand, West Bank seems to be facing the similar amount of trouble. So both the sides have been, trying, their best to be recognized on the international stage. But this is still, a tall order, as I mentioned. But still, this is a significant move, because on the international stage, the US and its allies are recognizing Palestine. That goes to show that there is some, a background noise as far as recognizing the state is concerned. What the US says officially now, that remains to be seen. Israel has already condemned the move and said that it will continue to have more Jewish settlers inside the territory of Palestine. So it will remain, it will still create ripples as far as the international relations are concerned. So we'll have to wait and see how this unfolds. It's still a tall order, as I mentioned.
And a significant step, Vishal, there, but still a lot of variables exist which need to be sealed. Thank you so much for getting us the latest. Sticking with the Middle East, where UN-backed humanitarian organizations are now facing significant challenges in maintaining their operations in the besieged Gaza Strip and the enclave, for that matter of fact, as Israel continues its military strikes in and aid blockade to the area. The UN Relief and Works Agency for Palestine Refugees in the Near East, or the UNRWA, has been delivering healthcare and basic services to Palestinian refugees for over 6 decades now. However, in Gaza today, where over 2 million people are enduring extreme poverty, the ongoing conflict has severely undermined the UN agency's ability to provide aid. And it's not due to the lack of supplies in this case, but the Israeli imposed restrictions are blocking the UN agency's distribution efforts. Listen in.
Our situation is miserable. We can't afford our medicines anymore, so we only use simple painkillers. For 40 years, my family and I have depended on UNRWA for treatment. Without them, we have nothing.
We shift our focus westwards to the US, where after being suspended last week, Jimmy Kimmel's late night show is now set to return to ABC. Now, Disney & Co., which owns the network, has issued a statement clarifying the latest developments, but not all of ABC's affiliated stations will be carrying Kimmel's comeback show. Sinclair, one of the country's biggest owners of local TV stations, has said its ABC affiliates will preempt the show beginning Tuesday night. Now, Sinclair also added that it will air news programming in the time slot instead. Over in Washington, Donald Trump has ignited yet another controversy. Now, in the latest, Trump is under fire after linking the common pain reliever Tylenol, or paracetamol as we call it here in India, to autism in unborn children. That's correct. At a press conference alongside Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Trump said and underlined that pregnant women should limit or even stop using Tylenol. Now, to make things clear, Trump did not quote any study or present any data while making this claim. The president called it a historic medical breakthrough and pushed for delayed childhood vaccines and new autism cures. However, experts quickly pushed back. This announcement is the latest move in what critics are calling a dangerous push for natural medicine in the United States. And at what expense? And at the expense of women's health, these experts are claiming. Listen in to Donald Trump, followed by an expert.
Don't take Tylenol. There's no downside. Don't take it. You'll be uncomfortable. It won't be as easy, maybe, but don't take it. If you're pregnant, don't take Tylenol.
As we know that autism and the spectrum disorders are multifaceted. They run in families. There's clearly a genetic component. And so to pin it all on a medication like acetaminophen is just hard to believe.
Explosive drones targeting a suspected gang leader killed at least 8 children inside a slum in Haiti's capital and seriously wounded 6 others. Relatives and activists told the AP on Monday as they blamed police for this attack. Now, the explosions happened Saturday night in Cité Soleil, which is controlled by Viv Ansam. It's a powerful gang coalition that the US has designated as a foreign terrorist organization or a terrorist entity. Now, one of its leaders, in fact, Jimmy Cherzier, best known as the Barbecue, vowed to avenge the attacks with a total of at least 13 people killed. Michelin Florville, 60 years old, said the explosion killed 2 of his grandchildren, ages 3 and 7, and his 32-year-old son as well. Listen in.
Premier petit moi, il a 32 ans, qui actuellement là qui est dans morgue. Puis petit il a à peine il a 3 ans. Son grand-père. Il a son grand-père. Mon petit moi qui mort qui a 7 ans.
We shift our focus to Eurasia, where the fall is expected to bring another grueling test for Ukraine's armed forces as Russia intensifies its campaign to seize an eastern region it has sought to conquer for years together now. Now, Moscow controls about 70% of the Donetsk region, once Ukraine's industrial heartland. Ukrainian forces, meanwhile, have been pushed back to a string of 4 cities that analysts have dubbed its fortress belt. Now, this is where they've pushed back Moscow's efforts to seize the region for years. However, shortages of troops, supplies, and even chaos in management internally are making it increasingly hard to resist Russia's relentless pressure in this region. The Trump administration has rolled out a $100,000 application fee for new H-1B visas. It's up from the previous $215, but now says exemptions may apply for doctors and other roles deemed in quote-unquote national interest. To that end, my colleague Parmeshwar Baba gets you.
All right, here's a story with direct implications for thousands of Indian families, both here and in the United States. The White House has confirmed that President Donald Trump's administration may exempt doctors and medical residents from the staggering new $100,000 fee on H-1B visa applications. So from just $215 today to $1 lakh US tomorrow, the new fee policy took effect at 12:01 a.m. Sunday. But a White House spokesperson has categorically told Bloomberg News that exemptions are possible if hiring foreign workers is deemed in the national interest. That language, they say, could cover physicians, medical residents, or even other industries. I'll tell you why this is so significant, though. Hospitals and medical associations in the United States had warned that the fee could worsen an already serious shortage of doctors, especially in rural America, where international medical graduates often serve as the backbone of healthcare. Now, let's just break down the numbers for you. According to Pew Research, nearly 3/4 of all H-1B visas approved in 2023 went to Indians. Since 2012, about 60% of these visas have been for tech jobs, but the system also supports universities, banks, hospitals, and research labs. In total, basically, economists estimate that around 7 lakh H-1B holders and 500,000 dependents currently live in the US. So for Indian IT professionals, academics, and medical graduates, this fee hike has sent shockwaves. The administration insists existing visa holders won't be stranded and that the $100,000 charge applies only to new applications, but still the uncertainty has rattled Silicon Valley firms, also rattled hospitals and universities alike. By the way, NDTV has learned that the Department of Homeland Security will have discretion to grant waivers on a case-by-case basis, but the key phrase again, national interest. Then the big question currently is, who gets to define what's in national interest, and will Indian professionals who make up the bulk of H-1B visa holders benefit from these exemptions? Well, for now, the Trump White House has signaled flexibility, but with a policy this disruptive, Indian families, Indian businesses, and students are watching very closely.
Kamala Harris has said that she regrets not expressing her concerns about President Joe Biden running for his second term when a majority of Americans felt he was in fact too old for the job. I have and had a certain responsibility that I should have followed through on, Harris told Rachel Maddow on MSNBC in a first live television interview since the elections. The Democratic former vice president's comments expand on a passage in her book, 107 Days to be precise, that looks back on her experience replacing Biden as the 2024 Democratic presidential nominee after he dropped out of the race. Harris ultimately lost to Republican candidate Donald Trump, who assumed office on the 20th of January this year. Kelly Allen of Charlotte was one of a couple hundred people who attended the candlelight vigil honoring Ariana Zarutska near a flight light rail station in the city on Monday night. It was organized by some churches and the local Republican Party. Allen said she is hopeful that we are on the path to making this a better and a safer city. I think that's what everyone wants here. I just know she wanted a better life and she deserves that, Allen added. So I'm here just to honor her tonight. The August 22nd death of 23-year-old Ariana Zarutska, her attack caught on camera and subsequent charges against a suspect who had previously been arrested more than a dozen times, caused public outrage. Here's more. A 13-year-old Afghan boy's curiosity brought him to Delhi from Afghanistan after he somehow managed to get inside the landing gear compartment of an aircraft that took off from Kabul. The incident was reported around 11 a.m. on Sunday, the 22nd of September to be precise, when KAM Airlines flight number RQ4401 reached the Indira Gandhi International Airport after a 2-hour-long journey. Now, the teenager was, however, repatriated to Afghanistan on Sunday, the 21st of September itself, on the same flight. But for over 90 minutes, the boy flew in the wheel well, miraculously landing unscathed at the IGI airport in the national capital, where he was seen wandering around by some airport staff. But by evening, he was sent back on a flight to Kabul, ending his day's adventure. Over in Europe, flights at the Copenhagen airport resumed early Tuesday after being suspended or diverted overnight because of drone sightings. Police reported 2 to 3 large unidentified drones were seen Monday night, forcing outgoing flights at Scandinavia's largest airport to be grounded and others diverted to airports nearby. Local media, meanwhile, showed a significant police presence in the vicinity of the airport. National Light Festival themed Light Up Shanghai has been a viral sensation on social media since its opening. Now, crowds have also flocked to the Zhuhai riverside to immerse themselves in the romantic interplay of lights, with the main venue at West Bund in downtown Zhuhai district setting new visitor records over the past weekend. We get you more.
这第一次看观影的，跟这个原影结合的还蛮巧妙的，对，真的很好，真的很好，感谢 SMG。
光影的色彩相当的丰富，然后反正让我们身临其境吧，对吧？这个很震撼。
It's time we step into a short break. We'll be right back.
Tina's smart. She uses Wise to send and spend money overseas. Tina's gone. Whether she's sending money overseas or paying with the Wise travel card abroad, she could save up to 70% compared to using major banks. Join Tina and 14 million people worldwide who found a smart way to send and spend money overseas. Be smart. Get Wise.
If Lubasi was your son, you'd do anything to stop his suffering. He's in agony because he has an eye infection called trachoma. It's often spread by flies, like these. If Lubasi was your son, you'd take him to the doctor. But his parents can't afford to get him the care he so desperately needs. You can. When you give £2 a month to Sightsavers, you can help save more children from agony like this and spare their parents the pain of watching their children suffer. Every month, you'll help our eye doctors get to some of the world's poorest and most remote villages. It's so simple to treat trachoma, but we urgently need your support to do it. So please call 0800 038 4920, text Site10 to 82727, or go to sitesavers.tv to give £2 a month to Sitesavers right now.
Welcome back. You're watching The World Report. We get you updates from the world of business now, where NVIDIA has announced that it will invest up to $100 billion in OpenAI. This as the artificial intelligence company embarks on a massive effort to build data centers worth hundreds of billions of dollars powered by NVIDIA's processors. According to the companies, OpenAI's upcoming infrastructure will be based on NVIDIA's system designed to consume 10 gigawatts of power, a scale that underscores the immense energy demands of the largest AI chip clusters. It was a chaotic Monday night in Paris. Ousmane Dembele and Aitana Bonmati have claimed the 2025 Ballon d'Or awards, football's highest individual honor. Now, Dembele, after a stunning season with Paris Saint-Germain, scored 35 goals and led the club to a continental treble, beating out Barcelona's Lamine Yamal to win his first Ballon d'Or. On the women's side, Spain's Aitana Bonmati made history, becoming the first woman ever to win 3 Ballon d'Ors in a row. Now, despite Barcelona and Spain both falling short here in major finals. It was a huge night for PSG, which also won the Men's Club of the Year award, while Arsenal took the Women's Club title. Dembele called the honour exceptional, while Bonmati said she hopes her story inspires young girls everywhere. Ringo Starr says life on the road at 85 may not look like rock and roll lifestyle anymore, but the work ethic is still the same. The legendary drummer, who continues touring his all-star band, reflected on just how certain songs have become the cornerstone of his live performances and how his relationship with them has evolved over the decades. Every All-Star show concludes with a little help from my friends, the legendary Paul McCartney penned track that has become essential to Ringo's career. We get you more.
Is it still the rock and roll lifestyle?
It's not really, is it?
When did that change?
Yeah, well, no. I think when I was 30.
You were like, enough of this.
Well, it's not rock. You know, the rock and roll's up all night, out all night, doing, playing. Yeah, you know, probably 40-ish when I stopped that lifestyle. But you know, we're still got to get up. We got to get in the truck. We got to get to the gig, and we got to go and do it.
Yeah.
You know, nobody's gonna. Oh, I don't feel like it. Nobody ever says that in my band. Yeah. We're up and we rock and we do our best. And I say that's the only thing when we're putting it together is that I will do my best for you. I want you to do your best for me and for him, and that we all just get up there and do it. And you know, the bands like they all say, well, let's just keep it with this one. Sometimes somebody plays the wrong note, but we get on with it. You know, it doesn't all stop. I just love it, and it's the best way I can go out, because I can play drums to your songs, I can play drums to my songs, I can be down the front, peace and love in, singing the ballads, you know, and I just love the format.
Bill Nye received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, also known as Bill Nye the Science Guy, for his Emmy-winning show with the same name that aired from 1993 all the way to 1999. Nye was surrounded by fans and family at Monday's ceremony, as you see there on your TV screens. He also attended Cornell University and graduated back in 1977 with a mechanical engineer's degree. He began moonlighting at comedy clubs before quitting his job at Boeing in 1986 to focus on his comedy career full-time. Neeraj Gavan's Homebound is India's official entry for the 2026 Oscars, viewers. Now, after a decade-long wait, Neeraj returns with Homebound, India's official entry to the Oscars. It's a film about friendship and identity. Lead actor Ishan Khattar opens up about the intense preparation he underwent to bring this character to life. Listen in.
I don't know where to start क्योंकि हमने जब शुरुआत की थी प्रेप में हमने डायलेक्ट वर्क शुरू किया 2-2.5 महीने 3 महीने हमने वो किया बिकॉज ज़बान बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट एलिमेंट होती है किसी भी कैरेक्टर का और आई थिंक हम दोनों ने तो इन्होंने बहुत तराशा हमको श्रीधर दुबे भाई जो इस फिल्म में हैं डायलॉग राइटर हैं उन्होंने विकास त्रिपाठी का रोल भी किया है उन्होंने हमारे साथ डायलेक्ट कोचिंग की 2-2.5 महीने बट द बेस्ट थिंग वी डिड वाज वी वेंट टू बाराबंकी टुगेदर और हमने कई दिन गाँव में बिताए साथ में it's an experience that goes beyond a film.
At Admiral, caring about what matters most to people has always been at the heart of what we do. Admiral, always looking out for you.
I know I wear all these fancy clothes. I'm a big fine car now. Oh yes I do. I miss the big stuff. Just like you say I am. I miss the big stuff. I'm not hard for love.
Dacia Bigster, available now from only £25,215.
I think that there's something that's always there that I just need to uncover. Like, I know I'm gonna get there, but I have to be patient with myself. That's probably the scary part for me. And it's okay, like, if you completely pivot and change. You know, you have to be comfortable with that.
This is the Zorawar, India's very own light tank. Built for a very specific requirement, to defend our forces and attack when necessary in high altitude areas. Conceived of in the post-Galwan context and in direct response to the emergence of the Chinese Type 15 light tank, the Zorawar is meant to plug holes in India's armored defenses. At the moment, India uses heavy tanks, the T-90 and T-72, way up in the Ladakh heights. These are far too heavy and unwieldy for operations in the rarefied atmosphere. And so, Zorawar was designed and developed in 21 months straight. Weighing in at 25 tons, close to half the weight of the older tanks, the Zorawar can be easily airlifted and is built with the future in mind. Upgradability. Designed to operate with drones, it'll also feature an active protection system, a system which intercepts incoming missiles and rockets to protect the tank. But these upgrades will come later. At the moment, the Army appears committed to the tank, which is being trialled not just in high altitude areas, but also the desert. The Zorawar weighs 25 tons. It has a power to weight ratio of 30 horsepower per ton. That's key in the mountains. It has a 1,000 horsepower engine. It's amphibious. It can ford rivers and lakes. It can fire missiles, has a 105mm main gun, a 12.7mm remote controlled weapon station, and a 7.62mm coaxial machine gun. In trials in September last year at the Mahendran firing range near Bikaner, the Zorawar hit its targets with pinpoint accuracy using its Belgian-designed gun, proving its lethality. Zorawar's development is a triumph of collaboration and indigenization. Led by the Defence Research and Development Organization and Larsen & Toubro, with contributions from micro, small and medium enterprises, the tank boasts over 70% indigenous content. From its hull to advanced systems, Indian industries have risen to the challenge, reducing reliance on foreign technology. Unlike the Arjun main battle tank, which faced delays and cost overruns because of an overemphasis on full indigenization, the Zorawar takes a pragmatic approach, incorporating foreign components like the Cummins engine and the Cockerell gun turret while pushing for local manufacturing. The Army may eventually end up operating 700 Zorawar tanks.
Rajasthan is history, culture, and much more. And I have been reporting on all things royal for more than 25 years.
The colors, the culture, and the complexities of the Northeast is different from the rest of the country. I have been bringing the Northeast closer to the capital for over 15 years.
Madhya Pradesh is the heart of India, and I have been capturing its every beat for over 10 years, covering the corridors of power, what is said, what is left unsaid, and what it actually means for you and me. I have it all covered.
Kashmir is often called paradise on earth, a region that has been in a state of flux from conflict to India's crowning glory. I have been reporting and decoding Jammu and Kashmir for last 3 decades.
Hello and welcome. This is India Global. I'm Arjun, Samar, Mahendran, and here are the headlines this Tuesday. 6 months, zero movement as India extends its airspace ban to Pakistan Airlines till the 24th of October. Donald Trump and RFK Jr. promote unproven claims about autism, linking it to paracetamol, declaring it dangerous for pregnant women. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar meets Marco Rubio at UNGA sidelines. Key bilateral and global issues